To Bryan High School for non-conference boys basketball action. The Bryan Golden Bears hosting the Stryker Panthers. Panthers coming to town at 2-2. Golden Bears at 2-2. Stryker Panthers led by head coach Tyler Woolis. Come in with a couple of hot shooting, high-scoring senior guards leading the way. William Donovan comes in for the Strikers, averaging 23 points a game. Bradley Williams averaging 17, 40 between the two. So Stryker comes in, put a lot of points on the board out of a couple of spots. Golden Bears coming off of a nice win last Saturday night. Coach Parker's squad has looked better from that first game at Edgerton through the next three, and that's what you want if you got a young squad. Get better every time out.
Yeah, no question. And Bryan's a very young team. We said that's a team that's going to get better and better as the year goes on. They're about a quarter of the way through the season right now, and so I think what we start to look for is those younger kids who are seeing their first varsity action this year. The four that come to my mind are Jake Arnold, Bryce Welling, Rhett McGill, and Hunter Watson. Those four kids have now played enough varsity basketball where the speed shouldn't affect them. The overwhelmingness should be gone. And I think those kids are going to get better, and I think they're going to get more aggressive offensively. And I think Bryan's going to get better and better as the year goes on.
Well, it's Bryan Golden Bears, Stryker Panthers. Bryan Arnold, Tim Meister here with you tonight. This is the Bryan Athletic Boosters Countdown to Tip-Off. We'll be back with more after this on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
Discover top-quality healthcare education at Northwest State. Our instructors have real-world experience, so they know how to prepare you for great career opportunities. Northwest State, where you'll get the top-quality healthcare education you need to succeed.
This community is more than a place. It's where we celebrate victories and where we lean on one another in times of loss. At Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, we're proud to be rooted here, serving with care and compassion when it matters most. Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, family-owned, family-focused.
The Bryan Parks and Recreation Department would like to wish the Bryan Golden Bears good luck in tonight's game. The Bryan Parks and Rec offers a wide variety of classes for you during the entire year and an array of sporting events all year long. Check out what the Bryan Parks and Recreations Department has going on at bryanparksandrec.com or like them on Facebook. The Bryan Parks and Rec hopes to see you in one of the many parks that Bryan has to offer and enjoy the facilities. Questions about the classes or rental of one of their facilities, call 633-6030.
The Bryan Athletic Boosters would like to wish all the student athletes the best of luck in all their sports this year. The Boosters are proud of your commitment to becoming Bryan built. It takes a lot of time and dedication to play sports and be the best student you can be at the same time. Good luck this year. The Bryan Athletic Boosters would also like to thank all of their corporate and individual patron supporters this year as well. It takes everyone to make a community and to become Bryan built.
Well, it's Bryan Arnold, Tim Meister back here at Bryan High School for tonight's game between the Golden Bears and the Stryker Panthers. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Bryan Athletic Boosters, Bryan Parks and Rec, Northwest State Community College, Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, and the Veterans Services of Williams County. The last time these two teams met was December 12th of last winter. Bryan went over to Stryker and won 64-43 to make it 3 in a row in this inter-county rivalry between the two schools. So, Coach Meister, let's take a minute here and let's talk about the Stryker Panthers a little bit. As I mentioned already, come in at 2-2 on the year under Coach Tyler Woolis. So let's hear a little bit more about the visitors.
Yeah, Coach Tyler Woolis, former Stryker player, now in his 9th season at 98 and 95. They returned 2 seniors, but you get used to their names, William Donovan and Bradley Williams. They average 40 between the two. The team average is just a tad under 51, so 80% of the offense for Stryker comes from these 2 seniors. As you see there, Donovan at 22.8, Williams at 16.8, 2.3 rebounds. Lead the team in scoring. Stryker does have capable kids as well beside those 2, but no question those 2 make the train go.
All right, there you can see the schedule so far. First 2 games were losses. That's a tough Miller City squad that they lost to in the opener, and then Pettiesville behind Jack Leppelmeyer, another real high-scoring kid there in the BBCs. A lot of talented shooters and players in that league. So let's now look at the home team, the Bryan Golden Bears under Coach Jacob Parker.
Coach Jacob Parker in his 2nd season, 10-16. Bears had very balanced scoring this year. Tucker Watson leading the way at 9.5, Jake Arnold at 8.8, and Jack Kennedy at 7.5 a game. Team averages 36% from the field, 20% from threes, 56% from the free throw line, 27 rebounds a game. And there's no question shooting and shooting with confidence is probably going to be a key that's mentioned later on I think they're a better shooting team than what that 36 and 20% show from 2 or 3, but they got to get it done when the lights are on.
Yeah, and you got to hope being at home helps that a little bit. I thought the Bears played good at home, both ball games they've been here. Hey, that always makes a difference to be in the cozy confines of your home gym, shooting on your own rims. You know, the big thing I think for the Bears tonight, the balance has been good scoring. You're seeing some more comfort out of kids. But the reality is you're going to have to find a way to defend 40 points a night out of 2 seniors who've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been so effective with that matchup zone, and I think that really will help them tonight when you have 2 scorers like that to not have to play them man-to-man. But if that zone can be as effective as it has been, that could really help them defend those 2.
And the matchup zone has been a key for the Bears, turning people over, getting some buckets in transition, getting a chance to get some shots early in the offense. But when they haven't, the Bears have been pretty disciplined, working around senior Tucker Watson in the post, like you said, leading scorer, comes in scoring about 10 a game, grabs 8 rebounds a game. So maybe, you know, that's something that Coach Parker and his crew have looked at is let's use our balance, be able to score from 3, 4, 5 different guys, and then we can hone in on the 2 big scores for Stryker.
Yeah, absolutely. And going back to their defense, what's impressed me the most is they play that 3-quarter court press, more of a tempo type of tactic to make sure that he has the pace of player he wants to. But out of that matchup half-court zone, at least the last couple of games, I thought they have done a great job of rebounding out of that zone. And zones are so difficult to rebound out of that sometimes you can get stuck in between people. But for whatever reason, they have been terrific at that. That's going to have to continue tonight.
Well, it's a Bryan Athletic Boosters countdown to tip-off. We'll be back after another break. We'll talk about tonight's keys. We'll meet the officials, and we'll talk starting lineups here on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
The Bryan Athletic Boosters would like to wish all the student athletes the best of luck in all their sports this year. The Boosters are proud of your commitment to becoming Bryan built. It takes a lot of time and dedication to play sports and be the best student you can be at the same time. Good luck this year. The Bryan Athletic Boosters would also like to thank all of their corporate and individual patron supporters this year as well. It takes everyone to make a community and to become Bryan built.
Here in Williams County, we believe that no veteran should feel forgotten. Our Veteran Service Office is here to serve, helping with VA claims, pensions, healthcare enrollment, and so much more. We're veterans serving veterans with dignity, honor, and respect. Reach out to us today to see how we can help, because the only veteran we can assist is the one that doesn't contact us.
All right, back to Bryan High School here. Let's talk about the keys to tonight's ball game. The keys to the game are brought to you by the Carlin Company Realty and Auctioneers. They're a hometown real estate company for 45 years. They've consistently remained #1 in Williams County and the surrounding area since 2007. Call us for all of your real estate needs.
For Stryker, the keys to the game tonight are to handle Bryan's pressure. They want to make sure that they maximize their offensive possessions and not turn it over. Box out on defense. They don't want Bryan to have more than 1 shot per possession and make Bryan shoot threes with a hand in the face. One thing I think Stryker has done under Coach Willis, they've done a great job of always closing out and contesting shooters. They'll need to continue to do that tonight.
All right, so let's talk about the keys for the home team, the Golden Bears.
The Bears continue their defensive intensity and effort. As we alluded to before the break, that matchup zone has been terrific. Limit the turnovers. They've done a pretty good job of that. If they can keep that between 8 and 12 this game, I think they're in good shape. And great shot selection. And shot selection, shooting percentage sometimes go hand in hand. So again, shoot with confidence, but the shot selection has to be quality as well.
All right, keys to the ball game. We've mentioned a little bit already, and I think it's going to be a matter again of that Bryan defense against the 2 main scorers from Stryker, and then can the Bears maintain some balance and shoot it well in their home gym. Like we mentioned earlier, keys to the game brought to you by the Carlin Company. If you get a chance, call out to Hillside Country Living and say happy birthday to TJ Zimmerman.
He might be sleeping, but go ahead, wake him up.
It's good for him. He'll get right back to sleep. So let's talk about tonight's game officials. Game officials brought to you by Tri-State Vision Center, serving the area since 1977. Contact us at either our Bryan or Montpelier offices for all of your eye care needs. Tonight's officials are Ben Blewett, Brett Keebler, and Richard Strong. Ben Blewett, got to be one of the most ironic official names that I've ever heard.
And I think his parents loved him too. It's just as an accident. It happens.
I think he enjoys the fact that he's an official and that's his last name. And Ben does a really good job. I think he enjoys the whole thing.
He does. And Ben, actually, we're kidding. Ben is a very, very good official.
All right, this has been the Bryan Athletic Boosters Countdown to Tip-Off. Starting lineups and more will be coming up on the Golden Bears Sports Network. We're going to take one more break here before we get action started from Bryan High School. Bryan Golden Bears and Stryker Panthers, a little Thursday night high school boys basketball.
From the first whistle to the final buzzer, life is filled with moments that shape us. Moments of victory, of challenge, of community. At Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, we're honored to stand by families through every season of life. Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, family owned, family focused.
Discover great job skills training at Northwest State. With over 50 different programs available, there is something for everyone. Providing hands-on training and education is the community college advantage.
All right, back at Bryan High School as both teams are wrapping up their warm-ups here, about a minute and a half until tip-off. You know, Coach Meister, I think one of the things that you think about in a ball game like this, you've got the small school Stryker for Williams County, bigger school Bryan. Good opportunity really for Stryker to get into a gym that they hope to see in tournament time. I think that's a big bonus for them playing on the road against Bryan. I think a good thing for a team like Bryan being as young as they are. Stryker is a good basketball school. It's a great basketball program. The Donovan name, we've got another Donovan there. There's been a whole bunch of them, and they play a lot of good basketball. They do things right. So I think that's a good opportunity for the Bears to play a good, solid, fundamental team that knows and plays basketball well.
Yeah, it's well said. I think on both sides it's really good. Like you said, for a smaller school in Williams County to play the big school in Williams County, veteran coach like Coach Willett, you know that's been preached all week for the little guys, the David versus Goliath syndrome. But for Bryan, it's good to face that too, to know that you have a team coming in that you are going to get their best shot, that this has been circled on their schedule. Going back to Stryker, yep, get on the floor you hope to see in tournament. Get your kids used to it for the first time they walk onto it in tournament. It's not a foreign territory for them. And back to Bryan, you said to continue that good, solid play. We continue to see this team evolve. Hopefully tonight will be one more step for them in getting to their potential in February and March.
Yeah, a good test against a team that's going to give you their best effort. All right, well, we're going to get tonight's national anthem. Sorry about that. Sponsored by the Veteran Services of Williams County. We're going to get it down to our public address announcer for tonight's activities, Mr. Aaron Hughes.
Has been afforded us by the dedication and sacrifice of brave servicemen and women currently deployed throughout our communities and around the world, and many others who have come before us. To thank these extraordinary men and women and to honor our nation, would you please rise and join the Bryan Pep Band in the playing of our national anthem. Now to meet the teams. First for the guests on the scoreboard from the Buckeye Border Conference, the Stryker Panthers. Starters for striker number 1, William Donovan. Number 3, Bradley Williams. Number 11, Eli Capps. Number 20, Andrew Patterson. And number 25, Cody Stewart. Varsity coaches Tyler Willis, JV coach Colton Benson, assisted by Mike Donovan and Tyler Kiefer. Go ahead, Brian, get up on your feet for it. Go! Golden Bears! At a guard, a 5'10" sophomore, number 3, Bryce Lully. At a guard, a 6-foot senior, number 4, Jack Kennedy. And a guard, a 6-foot senior, number 10, Tucker Miller. And a guard, a 6-foot freshman, number 14, Jake Arnold. And a big man down low, a 6'5" senior, number 34, Tucker Watson. Varsity coaches Jacob Parker, assisted by JV coach Casey Spitnall, assisted by Chad Bassett and Maurice Stewart. Gentlemen, let's go!
Well, there's starting lineups for tonight's ball game. You look, really kind of mirror images of each other. Both teams with 5 seniors, 4 of them that play a lot of minutes. The Bears start 3 seniors, Stryker starts 4. But you're going to get some young guys that rotate in. You've got a sophomore in the starting lineup for Stryker with number 25, Cody Stewart. Sophomore and a freshman in the lineup for the Bears. So, a little, some similarities there as far as age goes in the lineup. Opening tip will go to Stryker, and we are underway from Bryan High School. As the Bears open up in that aggressive defense, run away from Donovan at the elbow and dodge a bullet. Bears not able to gather that rebound, and Donovan's got it back right side in front of the Bears bench on the logo. Let's see what Stryker does. Flash to the middle there by Donovan working against Watson. Good strong move through Watson, and first points of the night on the main stop scoreboard go to William Donovan and the Stryker Panthers.
That's what makes William Donovan so dangerous. You saw he could shoot the elbow jumper. He can go inside. He can step out and hit the 3. And the Bears are going to have their hands full defending him tonight.
Bears come out working against a zone from Stryker. The same kind of look right back at him. Bryce Welling, nice attack. Can't get it to go. Rebound and put back Tucker Watson. First points of the night for the Bears. Evens it at 2. Bears in the 3-quarter court trap, and the ball has found Donovan a lot already, and I got to believe we're going to say that name quite a bit tonight, Coach Meister.
Yeah,
because Donovan again, left elbow up and under, kicks to the other scorer, Bradley Williams, who has to get rid of it. Shot from the corner is good. 3-pointer from deep in the corner, knocked down by Eli Capps. Andrew Batterson knocks down the 3. He's shooting 27% from out there, knocks down his first one pretty smooth. Bears are working, find Jack Kennedy down low on the block. His shot won't go. Rebound to Stryker, and Donovan's going to push. Back to Stewart in that corner. He doesn't take the shot. Another 3, deep one. Doesn't go. Rebound inside, doesn't go. Good activity there by Eli Capps on the offensive rebound. He couldn't get it to go. Bryan quickly up the floor. Arnold finds Watson. Free throw line jumper's good, and Watson's got the first 4, 5-4 lead for Stryker on the main scoreboard.
Nice find by Jake Arnold, and nice job by Tucker Watson knocking down that elbow jumper. If he can hit that shot consistently, all of a sudden Bryan becomes a little different offensive team.
The Bears get a trap on the sideline. Can't turn Stewart over, but you see some good defensive pressure on the perimeter. Donovan attacks in the middle. Kicks, Donovan back. Tries to step through, ball gets knocked away. Ball's on the floor, Bryce Welling on the floor. We're going to get a whistle, and I think we're going to get a foul called on Stryker. I believe that's going to be on 25, Cody Stewart, his first, team's first. Good action there by the Bears. Again, good activity in that zone defense.
Nice job on William Donovan. He really helped off, got a little tip out on the dribble, got a loose ball. They're going to have to do that to play great help and recover defense on him tonight because he is so aggressive at attacking the basket.
You're going to give up some things to other players tonight because you have to be so aware of where Donovan is all night. And Stryker throwing that same aggressive 2-3 zone defense at the Bears that they like to use. We're going to get a reach called. Andrew Batterson's going to be called for getting a little more arm than ball there at the elbow. So second foul on the Panthers, first on Batterson. Bears will inbound underneath their own basket. Ball gets swung around, finds Arnold on the right side, who finds Welling in the corner. A little too much on that pass from Tucker to Tucker, Miller to Watson. Bears turn it over. Donovan finds Batterson back up to Donovan up top, who's directing some traffic. Long pass across. Nice job by Tucker Miller. Gets a hand on that, tips it into the Bryan bench. Well, both teams are throwing the same defense at each other. The good news is you see it in practice, so you should have some pretty good ideas where the holes are, and that's going to should make defense a little trickier. Williams works up top, attack by Batterson, finds Donovan down low. A lot of nice moves, gets a soft touch to fall. 7-4 lead for Stryker as Donovan scores again.
I think when Donovan gets the ball that low, Bryan is going to have to double down. They just cannot let him go one-on-one. He's just too good around the basket for that.
Yeah, you're going to need to. That ball needs to go away from the rim. You're going to have to force shots from deeper as the Bears turn it over again. Welling loses the handle. Williams got an open look for three, and he knocks it down. He's shooting 40% from three-point range this year. Comes in averaging 17. Like we said, 40 points between the two seniors, Donovan and Williams. And you can see why early so far for the Panthers, as both players have got points on the board. Tucker Miller loses a handle, but the ball goes out of bounds off of a Stryker Panther, so the Bears will keep possession. I think the Bears need to stay aggressive. The whistle and a foul call might be their good friend. They can force Stryker into some early foul trouble.
Yeah, and the Bears are going to have to be a threat from the outside. I mean, right now, Stryker's playing that zone with toes inside the three-point line. And you're going to need some dribble penetration just like that.
Bryce Welling, nice high shot off of glass right there for Bryce Welling. A good finish. Stryker moves quick up the floor. Donovan lost the handle, got it back. Stryker into their offense. Lucky pass there. Williams, shot fake, sidestep, three, doesn't go. Watson takes it away from Arnold. Defensive rebound for the Bears. And the Bears have looked to run every time they've had a chance. I think they're trying to get down the floor before Stryker has a chance to set up.
Ooh.
And we're getting an over and back call. Official says Arnold fumbled it into the backcourt, so another turnover for the Bears.
I thought that was tipped the way Jake reacted. I think he thought it was tipped as well.
And Rhett McGill will check in, get Bryce Welling a break. 10-6 on the main stop scoreboard with 3 minutes left here in the first quarter. And William Donovan will bring across the timeline. You can see a lot of eyes. When William Donovan has the ball, there's a lot of Golden Bear eyeballs on him and where he's at. Draws a lot of attention. There's a quick release three by Donovan, too strong. Nobody on the backside. Rebound for the Bears. You're going to have to take advantage when they miss.
Yes, you are.
Caps gets the lane taken away by Jack Kennedy. Donovan finds Stewart on the left side, back up to Donovan. Bears doing a nice job of not making anything easy for Stryker. And that's why those defensive rebounds are so important. A long three, off front iron, no good. And there's a good, strong rebound by Watson, but he gets it knocked away. He'll turn it over. Williams with a long three. That's good from about 3 feet behind the line. 7-point lead for Stryker, 13-6 here as we go under 2 minutes in the opening quarter.
Right now, the Bears are struggling finishing off defensive possessions. They're doing a nice job defending, but they're giving up offensive rebounds.
A scramble out at half court. Arnold comes up with the ball after about 4 players had their hands on it. And you've seen a lot of activity here by Stryker. What's something we've talked about from Bryan as well. Very aggressive, chasing down long skips like that right there and getting their hands on a lot of basketballs. Arnold with a 3 from the corner, and he hits his first shot of the night. Nice screen action right there from his teammate. Popped Jake Arnold loose for the 3. We got a long skip ahead. Another 3 will go. Stryker comes out shooting extremely hot. 16-9 Stryker lead. I think that's 3 made threes now for the Panthers. Arnold finds McGill, works it to Watson. Watson gathers about 4 Panthers around him when he has the ball in the paint. You see a lot of active hands. Jack Kennedy now, again, gaining a lot of attention. I tell you, if you're going to be allowed to play defense like that tonight, we're going to see nobody's going to get a whole lot of clean looks. Donovan up and under, steps through, and then we're going to get a foul on Donovan trying to get his own miss. But, man, nice offensive player there. Yeah. William Donovan able to get some good looks, and he's going to take a quick break. We're going to get some subs at the table. Hunter Watson comes in for Tucker Miller. Cooper Beltran checks in for Tucker Watson. Coach Parker's going to take a 30-second break. We're going to take it with him. We'll be back here after a quick break on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
The Bryan Athletic Boosters would like to wish all the student athletes the best of luck in all their sports this year. The Boosters are proud of your commitment to becoming Bryan Built. It takes a lot of time and dedication to play sports and be the best student you can be at the same time. Good luck this year. The Bryan Athletic Boosters would also like to thank all of their corporate and individual patron supporters this year as well. It takes everyone to make a community and to become Bryan Built.
All right, back at Bryan High School, 30-second timeout there. Timeout sponsored by SNS Directional Boring. When it comes to your home or farm, make the smart play. From new main water or sewer lines to field drainage, SNS keeps things flowing underground so you can take your time out in peace. SNS does it the right way. Call 419-630-0729 today. Bears work it up into the front court. 35 seconds left. Hunter Watson just into the ball game. Gets the ball out to Kennedy. Kennedy attacks the gap. Back to Watson. Watson will fire the 3. Tapped out by Cooper Beltran and chased down by Jake Arnold. Under 20 seconds left. Bears have time. Good hustle there by the Bears to save the possession. Arnold swings to Watson. Watson attacks. Kennedy finds the handle. Right baseline. Tough jump shot. Rattles in and out. Bears get it back. Jake Arnold will flip one up. And they're going to count that off glass at the buzzer. Apparently we're doing a lot of work on that in practice. Same shot as last ball game. Jake Arnold banks one in at the buzzer of the first quarter. So we're going to take a quarter break here. We'll be back at Bryan High School, 16-12. I don't see it up on the board yet, so maybe it wasn't good. We'll be back after break here at Bryan High School.
All the student athletes the best of luck in all their sports this year. The Boosters are proud of your commitment to becoming Bryan Built. It takes a lot of time and dedication to play sports and be the best student you can be at the same time. Good luck this year. The Bryan Athletic Boosters would also like to thank all of their corporate and individual patron supporters this year as well. It takes everyone to make a community and to become Bryan Built.
Fallen on hard times? At the Williams County Veteran Service Office, we're here when life gets tough. We provide emergency financial assistance for housing, food, and utilities, plus transportation to VA medical appointments. Whether you need help today or just someone who understands, we're ready to serve. Please reach out to see what we can do for you, because the only veteran we can't assist is the one that doesn't contact us.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State. Start
possession. 16-12 Stryker lead on the main stop scoreboard. Open when you need them. You're always near a main stop. Don't forget Thirsty Thursday every Thursday, and our first Thursday night ball game of the year. Make sure you stop by the main stop if you get a chance. Bears possession, down 4. Arnold inside to McGill. McGill gets a good look, can't get it to go, but a nice offensive rebound by Cooper Beltran, who's been active down low, but he steps out of bounds trying to get the ball out. Cooper Beltran had a nice tip out on that last offensive possession that kept the ball alive for the Bears in the possession. Good offensive rebound there, but then turned it over when he stepped on the line. Donovan was out before the end of the quarter, I think adjusting the knee brace a little bit, but back on the floor here for Stryker. Williams, Donovan, Caps, Schindeldecker now in the post. He can't get it to go. Backside, nobody checked William Donovan. He was happy to tap that in, get Stryker back to a 6-point lead. And he's got 6 early for Stryker. Arnold, Welling, Beltran, McGill, and Watson, Hunter Watson on the floor for the Bears. Arnold will take another 3. That one doesn't go. Rem McGill active underneath. Cooper Beltran will take that tipped ball, and he'll finish. Donovan pushes hard, picks his dribble up in the circle. Both teams, you can see, really trying to push to keep the other team out of the press. Williams finds Caps. Caps going to skip to Batterson. Batterson comes in averaging 5 a game. He's got 6 already on a couple of nice threes in the first quarter. Donovan works up top. Stryker just happy to be patient here. I think they want to make sure one gets his touches every time down the floor. Nice look from him. Batterson back in his corner, left side 3, no good, but another offensive rebound for Donovan, no good. And the Bears will pull that one down. Too many second chances early for Stryker right now if you're Coach Parker and his crew.
Yeah, way too many second chances. That's the 5th offensive rebound Bryan's given up this game.
And I don't think it's because of athleticism or anything else. It's a lack of checkouts by the Bears on the defensive end. Bryce Welling finds Cooper Beltran. He's going to shove one from the elbow. Can't get it to go. Rhett McGill gets a rebound. Arnold with the up and under steps by Schindeldecker. Puts it off glass and good. Bears have it to a 2-point ball game. Good push and look there from Donovan to Batterson. Looks like he might have got an extra step. No whistle. Williams with another deep 3. Long off back iron. Rebound chased down by Hunter Watson. The Bears have possession. Chance to tie this thing up. Welling attacks right away. Gets his defender off his feet. Nice head fake. Finish off glass. We're tied at 18. Good move by Bryce Welling.
Yeah, Bears coming out much more aggressive on offense, getting the ball to the basket, not letting that zone get them into a stand-around type of situation, or taking 20, 25-footers, or really attacked early, which I really like.
Had a nice trap there. Hunter Watson just a step late getting there, but a nice job by him. The Arnold, Watson, and Beltran will go to the bench. Tucker Watson, Tucker Miller, and Jack Kennedy check back in. They're in with Rhett McGill and Bryce Welling. We got another sub on the floor, Jasic Juilliard, I believe, down on the block for Stryker. Donovan, again, we keep running away from Donovan with the ball in the paint. I don't think we should leave him.
No.
Skip there. Stewart finds Williams. Williams with a little shimmy, works himself to the right elbow. Good on-the-ball defense there by Jack Kennedy. Tucker Miller now working against Donovan up top. Williams, the sidestep again. 2 Bears run at him. Really nice job. I think the other 3 are not looking to shoot, so I think you can take some chances. We got to make sure you defend Donovan right now at the free throw line.
I think with this lineup on the floor for Stryker, that is the 2 kids you can take away. If the other 3 beat you, you tip your hat to them.
Absolutely. That's got to be the game plan. Stryker tries to force one into the paint to Donovan. Turn it over. Bryce Welling takes it. Free throw line to bucket, lays it in. Bears, little 6-0 run to take a lead right here, and Coach Willis wants to take a timeout. We're going to take a full timeout. We'll be back on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
The Bryan Parks and Recreation Department would like to wish the Bryan Golden Bears good luck in tonight's game. The Bryan Parks and Rec offers a wide variety of classes for you during the entire year and an array of sporting events all year long. Check out what the Bryan Parks and Recreations Department has going on at bryanparksandrec.com or like them on Facebook. The Bryan Parks and Rec hopes to see you in one of the many parks that Bryan has to offer and enjoy the facilities. Questions about the classes or rental of one of their facilities, call 633-6030.
Discover top-quality healthcare education at Northwest State. Our instructors have real-world experience, so they know how to prepare you for great career opportunities. Northwest State, where you'll get the top-quality healthcare education you need to succeed.
From the first whistle to the final buzzer, life is filled with moments that shape us. Moments of victory, of challenge, of community. At Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, we're honored to stand by families through every season of life. Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, family owned, family focused.
Nice little run there by the Bears, Coach Meister. Good energy from the boys.
Great run by the Bears. They took a couple turnovers, converted them into baskets. On the offensive end, they have done a great job of not letting Stryker trap them out of the zone, attacking the basket with a dribble. If they can shore up on the defensive end and finish possessions off with defensive rebounds and not give Stryker second chances, I think the Bears are going to put themselves in a position to make a little run here in the second quarter.
Stryker brings it across. Good hustle by Jack Miller, finds Rhett McGill, loses a handle, ball's on the floor. This is going to be a held ball. Kind of a tough break right there from the Bears. I think Tucker Miller, great effort. You're not going to tell him not to hustle after that, but all you got to do is let that go. It was going to be an over and back call, but good hustle by the Bears. You're not going to tell him otherwise.
Nope.
So Stryker gets another shot at possession here with the Bears leading by 2, 20-18, halfway through the second quarter. Little two-man game out of Donovan and Williams. Tucker Watson, nice job going straight up, but a little contact. Donovan was going to the hoop. There was no doubt about it. First one on Watson, second on the team.
I wish I could go back and look at the replay because either the Bears went with a box and one on Williams or Jack Kennedy just simply denied Williams the ball and face guarded him all the way. I couldn't quite catch the whole thing because I just noticed the face guard on the side. So maybe that's the Bears' ploy. They're going to say, I'm going to take one of the two away, and this is who I'm taking away.
Donovan gets 1 of 2 at the Welling Construction free throw line, so it's a 1-point lead for the Bears. Rebound by Tucker Watson. Bryce Willing continues to stay active. Gets the ball out, skip pass to Kennedy through some traffic. Kennedy back to Welling. Welling finds Rhett McGill. Great baseline cut right there, finished by Rhett McGill. Rhett McGill's really been coming on, averaging 6 a game, making an offensive force out of himself right now for the Bears.
Yeah, he's a young kid. You see he's gaining more and more confidence. He's the kid I think by the end of the season we're going to talk about what a difficult matchup he is for several teams.
Donovan again uses that pivot so well to get defenders off of him and find an extra pass or get himself an open shot. Jack Kennedy chases Williams off the three-point line. Donovan steps into the open spot, spins again. Williams finds an opening in the corner. There's a good check out and rebound by Rhett McGill. Bears possession, going to bring it across the timeline with a 3-point lead. Jack Kennedy with the ball.
Bears need to stay aggressive. They need to continue to get that ball inside, either by pass or with dribble penetration, and keep attacking the basket.
Bryce Welling's going to try a 3, and he knocks it down. Bryce Welling knocks down his first 3 of the night. He's got 9, and he's feeling good.
Great inside out there. They got the ball in the Tucker Watson the post. He recognized the double, kicked out right away, buried by Welling. Great offense by the Bears.
Bears have taken an early, I believe it was about an 8-point deficit, and turned it into a 6-point lead with some great energy on the defensive end and great offense by Bryce Welling. We got a sub into the game for both teams. Andrew Batterson checks back in for Stryker, and Jake Arnold checks back in for the Bears.
This is a lineup we talked about the other night, Coach Arnold, where you're playing Rhett McGill at the 5 and Tucker Miller at the 4. It's a little bit of a smaller lineup, but it gives you a little bit of a different look because Rhett McGill can step out. You can play 4 around with his zone, a little quicker on the defensive end. It just gives them a different dynamic.
And with Rhett McGill, you've got a guy who's tall enough and long enough to give you some good post presence. Right there, he did a good job of closing out Donovan in the paint. Arnold gets a defensive rebound. You know, when you're not playing 6'5", 6'6" guys inside, you can go with this lineup and wreck and hang with those guys as much as he needs to. Miscommunication, turnover by the Bears. Arnold went for the handoff. We got a backdoor cut from the top. Leads to an easy run-out layup for Williams. Stryker gets it back to within 4.
Nice defense by Bradley Williams, extending his hand and getting a nice pass from Andrew Batterson on the run out.
Bears work up top between Welling and Arnold. Welling, skip pass, finds Arnold left side 3. Tries to erase that turnover with a 3-point shot, and that leads to a 30-second timeout for Stryker. We'll stay here and talk about it. Again, timeouts brought to you by S&S Directional Boring. Call them today at 419-630-0729 for all of your needs. So, Coach Meister, good activity here. Game started a little slow.
Real slow.
But been real good activity, I'd say, on both ends here in the second quarter.
Yeah, and I think in the second quarter, it had to be mentioned at the end of the first quarter at the break by the coaches. What a terrific job Bryan has done of getting that ball into the paint. They haven't always scored in there, but they've got it in there almost every possession, and Stryker defenses collapses so hard that it opens up for the three, or when the Stryker kids are trying to run out and close out, Bryan's able to get that dribble penetration. If they continue just every possession to get the ball in the paint via pass or a dribble, they're going to get good open looks.
You know, I would imagine there was a breakdown there defensively that Coach Willis didn't like, because that timeout was called about the time that ball went through the rim. So Stryker will bring it the length of the court here. 28-21, Bears lead, under a minute and a half left in the quarter. Only 2 team fouls for the quarter up on the board right now, both against the Bears. The Bears trap the ball out of Donovan's hands. There's a force there by Stryker to try to get the ball in the paint. The Bears, everybody's eyes are on Donovan, so that ball gets taken away. Welling pushes to Arnold, left side three again, no good. Tucker Miller's there, gets a rebound, got hammered. No call. Bryce Welling's pass gets picked off by Donovan. He read that diagonal coming the whole way. Donovan draws a lot of company and a lot of contact under the basket. Coach Willis, I believe, would have liked to see a foul called there. He's a little excited. Nothing called underneath the basket. I think we see Coach Meister the way this game's going to be called. It's been consistent on both ends.
It's almost like a tournament game right now. I mean, that's the way it's been called on both ends. I mean, the kids are going to have to
absolutely.
adjust. Yeah. They know it is. You know, if you want to be highly critical, probably a jump ball or something should have been called there. But if you're going to let them play, you play it on both ends, that's fine. Like I said, the kids will adjust.
Yeah, I would say even initially, Arnold had Donovan tied up when he went up for the shot with no call, and then it only got uglier from there. Arnold gets trapped up top, dribbles out. Jack Kennedy gets stuck in the corner. Good rotation again. Just so active. Williams especially has been so active defensively. Welling finds Tucker Miller, can't get it to go. Rhett McGill gets fouled, gets the ball poked away. Ball comes back in his hands, and we're going to get a jump ball called on that tie-up underneath. The ball will stay with the Golden Bears. 13.3 seconds left. Bears need a shot. They'd like to use the whole clock to do it if they can. Run some good offense. Ball tipped away, goes off Tucker Miller's hands. Bears will turn it over, exactly what they didn't want. 1 second runs off the clock, 12.3 left, 28-21. And you got to love Stryker's effort so far on the defensive end.
Yeah, they play hard. They've had that tradition of playing hard at Stryker for the last 50 years.
Long diagonal goes across, finds Schindeldecker down low. That ball hits the rim about 3 times and falls in at the buzzer. Senior Dean Schindeldecker averaging 1 point a game, doubled himself up on that one, gets a bucket at the end with a nice soft touch. Knocks the Bears lead down to 5. 28-23, but really better basketball than that low-scoring scoreboard might show. Ton of energy, ton of effort on both ends. Good defensive pressure. We talked a little bit about fouls. I believe there was 2 called in the first quarter and 2 called in the second quarter, so you're not going to have to worry about foul trouble at halftime. But like you said, the kids will have to adjust and get used to the way the whistle is being blown tonight.
Yeah, the officials are going to let them play. They're going to let them get handsy. But the egregious stuff they're calling, I mean, they're not letting it get out of control. They're just going to let the kids decide the game on the floor.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty obvious. There's going to be a lot of banging, a lot of contact if the whistle's going to get blown. So Bears were down early. I think at one time I remember 16-9. I think it was 16-9, and Jake Arnold threw in that last-second shot kind of over the shoulder, banked one in, hit a 3, got the Bears to within 4, and then the Bears made a run out, got as big a lead as 7 at one point. Lead by 5 going to the half. Both teams in the locker room. We're going to take a break. We'll come back and talk some statistics and a little bit more about how we got to this point in the first half. Brian Arnold and Tim Meister with you on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
The Bryan Parks and Recreation Department would like to wish the Bryan Golden Bears good luck in tonight's game. The Bryan Parks and Rec offers a wide variety of classes for you during the entire year and an array of sporting events all year long. Check out what the Bryan Parks and Recreations Department has going on at bryanparksandrec.com or like them on Facebook. The Bryan Parks and Rec hopes to see you in one of the many parks that Bryan has to offer and enjoy the facilities. Questions about the classes or rental of one of their facilities, call 633-6030.
If you served, you may qualify for VA healthcare, even if you were denied before. New rules recognize burn pit and toxic exposure claims. We can help you apply, understand benefits, and access the care you've earned. Let us help protect your health. Today and for the future, contact us to see how we can help. Williams County Veterans Service Office. Veterans serving veterans.
The Bryan Athletic Boosters would like to wish all the student athletes the best of luck in all their sports this year. The Boosters are proud of your commitment to becoming Bryan built. It takes a lot of time and dedication to play sports and be the best student you can be at the same time. Good luck this year. The Bryan Athletic Boosters would also like to thank all of their corporate and individual patron supporters this year as well. It takes everyone to make a community and to become Bryan built.
Time here at Bryan High School. The Golden Bears lead the Stryker Panthers 28-23. You can hear the Bryan pep band going. I forgot to give them credit for the national anthem tonight. We had great pep band activity so far this year, led by Jason Luthi and BJ Bonnie. They've got the kids out. Our band has been fantastic so far. So, Coach Meister, let's talk a little bit of first half stats, how we got to this 5-point lead for the Bears.
For the Stryker Panthers, they were 5 for 12 from the 2-point line, 4 for 11 for the 3, 1 for 2 from the free throw line, for a total of 23. 5 offensive rebounds, 2 defensive rebounds for a total of 7. Stryker only turned it over 3 times. It seems the Bears caused more turnovers than that, but a couple of held balls didn't go their way, just a couple of things. But again, Stryker, a pretty good job of taking care of the basketball. For the Bryan Golden Bears, they were 8 for 13 from the 2, 4 for 8 from the 3, did not attempt a free throw. 7 offensive rebounds, 8 defensive rebounds, and if you have a complaint or an issue with how Bryan played in the first half would probably be the fact they had 8 turnovers in the first half, and that's a number you'd like to see on the low end for the entire game. Leading scorers for Stryker, Bradley Williams with 8, William Donovan with 7. That gives them 15 of their 23, about right on target for the season. Andrew Batterson with 6. Dean Schindeldecker with a nice little baseline move at the end for 2. For the Bryan Golden Bears, Cooper Beltran with 2. Brett McGill with 2. Tucker Watson with 5. Bryce Willing with 9. And Bryan is led by freshman Jake Arnold with 10.
So I think at this point, I think if I'm Coach Parker, we want to talk about those turnovers. I think you're seeing a young front court versus an experienced front court against the exact same kind of pressure. Been a little bit sloppy with the basketball, got some turnovers we probably shouldn't have. And like you said, when Stryker has fumbled the ball away, they seem like they keep finding a way to get back to getting that possession back again. And I'd like to see Tucker Watson offensively get a little bit more involved. You know, he's averaging 10, he's got 5, but I think he has an advantage inside with his size and his strength to finish some buckets, but he's doing a nice job with the inside out too that you've talked about.
Yeah, I think the Bears' biggest issue with the turnover-wise is against that 2-3 zone, Stryker tends to trap in the corner. So if you have a team that likes to trap the wings, to trap the corners, your players have to be aware that that trap is coming and they can't take one dribble towards the baseline and pick it up, because when that happens, now that just is like sharks in bloody water. The Stryker kids are trapped, and we've had a bunch of turnovers like that. So you got to tell your wings and your corner guys, if you're putting the ball on the floor, you better get it to the basket or in the paint. And when you're a wing or a corner, you catch the ball, look to skip, because they have to double. When they're doubling, that means that backside has to rotate over and your weak side is wide open. Then that allows that high post pass or the dribble drive or the open 3.
Yeah, when the Bears have been on offense, it feels like if the ball gets into the paint, 10 eyes are on the paint, and you have an opportunity to get the ball out. But it better go quick, because 10 eyes are 10 hands. And we talked about the way the game's been called. You're going to get away with a little bit of grabbing. You're going to get away with a little bit of slapping and everything else inside. So you got to move the ball quickly. When the Bears are on defense, you got to know where Donovan and Williams are. That's the magic recipe. You're not going to stop them, but you got to contain the damage that they do. And like you said, make somebody else beat you. Ball's got to leave their hands.
Yeah, absolutely. And Stryker, Coach Willis and his staff has done a terrific job with William Donovan, because they played him at all 5 spots. They started him in the low post. They started at the high post. They've had him bring the ball up, enter it to a wing, and then step into the high post and step out. For us old guys, first team I ever saw do that was Michigan State with Magic Johnson. You know, he'd bring the ball up, he'd take it to a wing, he'd step into the high post, and all of a sudden your best offensive player is in the most vulnerable spot of his zone. So kudos to Stryker for moving around, but you're right. Bryan has to be very aware, make the other kids beat you. Do not let Williams and William Donovan have their footing. I mean, they've really got to control those two.
Well, I think the coaching staff and Bryan's got to be probably somewhat happy with 23 total points, 15 out of those 2 hot shooters, but I don't think you can rest either. I think anything, you got 2 kids that can shoot it like they do, move it like they do without the ball. Those point totals can go up in a hurry, so they've got to stay really, really strict on the defensive end.
And they did a little better job in the second quarter of when Donovan got the ball under the foul line. They had help from somewhere else. I mean, they didn't leave him one-on-one down there. They did a little better job at doubling him. I think they're going to have to continue to do that as well.
All right, we're going to take one more break here at halftime. Golden Bears lead by 5. We'll come back, talk a couple more halftime adjustments, get some out-of-town scores. We're on the Golden Bears Sports Network from Bryan High School.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
From the first whistle to the final buzzer, life is filled with moments that shape us. Moments of victory, of challenge, of community. At Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, we're honored to stand by families through every season of life. Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory. Family owned, family focused.
Allie Held Herman is a 2004 Bryan graduate and former Lady Bear basketball player. Allie tragically passed away in 2021, but she saved the lives of many others through organ donation. Allie's family encourages you to be an organ, eye, and tissue donor.
Our mom gave the gift of life. She is a hero. We love you, Mom.
Both teams back on the floor here from Bryan High School. Tonight's ball game is brought to you by the Bryan Athletic Boosters, Bryan Parks and Rec, Northwest State Community College, Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, Veteran Services of Williams County. Got a couple of out-of-town scores get caught up on here. We got girls basketball, a final. Hicksville beat Antwerp 47-27. At the end of 3, Edgerton leads Ayersville 44-17. And boys, at the end of 1 quarter, we have Anthony Wayne 17, Napoleon 10. And Patrick Henry leads Kalida 15-4 at the end of 1. Out-of-town scores brought to you by WBNO, WQCT. No one covers Williams County sports like 100.9 B-Rock. Follow the Golden Bears all season long on Q96.5. Listen on air or online at WBNO, WQCT.com. Got a minute left here in the half. Coach Meister, what do we think going into the last 16 minutes of ball game?
Again, as we mentioned, I think if you're Bryan, control your turnovers. Just make sure you're not turning it over, because 8 turnovers equals 16 for a game. That's just too many. You can't just give away those possessions. And then, like I said, make sure you're not getting trapped in that zone. Know where you want to get that ball out and where you want to attack it. If you're Stryker, I mean, certainly you're talking about where the ball has to go. You're talking about making sure that one touches it, and then a lot of other things happen with him. So, you know, both teams here at halftime are going to come out. I think, again, as weird as it sounds, they're going to want to kind of do a lot of the same things, just make some small adjustments to what they're doing.
Yeah, and I'm going to see probably, we talked a little bit about it, the senior backcourt versus the freshman, sophomore, senior backcourt of the Bears. See if the Bears can match that experience, cut down on those turnovers here in the second half. Both teams have shot the ball relatively well.
Yes,
I know 28-23 is not high scoring, but both teams have shot it good against really high pressure, quick rotating defense. So coach has got to be happy with that. Stryker's going to get the opening possession here in the second half. Both teams starters on the floor. For Stryker, it's going to be William Donovan, Bradley Williams, Eli Capps, Andrew Batterson, and Cody Stewart. And for the Golden Bears, starters for them, Bryce Welling, Jack Kennedy, Jake Arnold, Tucker Miller, and Tucker Watson. So Stryker's going to inbound the ball, get action going here. 28-23 on the main stop scoreboard. Bears open the second half with a 5-point lead. Stryker works a little inside out there. Donovan finds a wide open teammate underneath the basket. He can't get his shot to go. I think that was Capps underneath the basket. A great look by Donovan. Kennedy, good penetration, swings to Welling. Welling gets it into the paint to Watson. Watson shot fake up, can't get his shot to go. Ball still alive. Watson finds Kennedy. Good activity by the Bears. Both teams miss a gimme early, but the Bears have the ball back in their possession.
Nice job by the Bears to get in the paint early. Get a nice pass by Jake Arnold.
Watson's shot misses everything, but Bryce Welling comes flying in to get the offensive rebound. Him and Donovan get tied up. That jump ball is going to stay here with the Bears.
So early on, the Bears got 2 really good looks. They didn't convert, but they also got 2 offensive rebounds. So, again, good offensive start for the Bears outside of not making the baskets, but they're getting the looks they want. They're getting the effort they want.
Good activity on the glass. Jack Kennedy get the offense started up top at the volleyball line, staring down that 2-3 zone by Stryker. Kennedy works off of a Miller screen, elbow jumper, can't get it to go, off front iron, rebounded by Batterson. Stryker quickly into the front court. Batterson's going to take a look. 3 no good off back glass, tipped by Donovan, doesn't go. The ball was kept alive. Stewart grabbed it. I think Donovan might have tipped that, and then we're going to get a foul on the floor. Bryce Welling will get his first of the quarter. Donovan will inbound it underneath his own basket. A lot of eyes on Williams there. I think there was probably an open spot in the zone. Donovan goes right at Watson, up and under, lays it off glass. William Donovan on the board first this half, like the opening score of the ball game, cuts that lead to 3.
Yeah, William Donovan gets it that low in the paint. He's tough because he has so many secondary moves.
He uses that pivot move so good to keep himself where he wants to be and move the defender without even having to move the basketball. Bryce Welling gets into the baseline, handoff to Kennedy. Kennedy to Miller, back up to Arnold. Miller finds Watson. Watson, same look he got before, a little bit different angle. True on that one. Tucker Watson gets a Bears first bucket. 30-25 lead for the Bears on the main stop scoreboard.
Nice job by Tucker Watson on the pin. A really good entry pass by Tucker Miller. Great recognition, gave it to him in the perfect shooting position.
Caps down low, kicks it out. Williams gets run off the three-point line by Arnold. Donovan now down low, works against Watson. There's a good dig by Bryce Welling. Forces a turnover. And I think we're going to get a foul called on Williams, trying to tie Arnold up on the floor. It's a turnover by Stryker. First foul on Williams, first for Stryker. And Schindeldecker's going to check back in for the Panthers. He'll check in for Stewart. So trying to match a little bit of Watson's size. I don't think Coach Willis liked that matchup down low. Watson's got a couple good looks, able to make one go.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we get into the fourth quarter and William Donovan does not have a lot of fouls. You don't see him switch off on to Tucker Watson, but for now he has to protect his best offensive player.
Welling squeezes that one into Watson at the free throw line. Just a lot of activity by the Panthers. They get their hands on a lot of passes, very active defensively. Kennedy looked like he threw that one through Donovan's legs. Welling throws it off of Donovan after getting trapped underneath on the block. So Bears will keep possession, have the ball out of bounds on their baseline.
Bears high post, wherever the ball goes to the wing, they have to go to the ball. That time we tried to make a high post entry from one wing to the opposite elbow on the high post, and that's a pass waiting for trouble to happen.
Inbound, Watson shot fake. Gets that shot to go through, a little bit of contact right there. So 4 quick points for Tucker Watson. Like to see that going early here for the Bears.
Much better job of Tucker getting that ball side elbow, and Jake Arnold with a nice find.
Donovan working up top against that Bears zone. Gets the ball to Caps. Caps to Williams. Bryce Welling, nice job closing out on a shooter right there. Now he's working against Donovan. Donovan down low to Schindeldecker. Watson's going to pick up his second one. Didn't need that one either. That's one I think you need to read the scouting report. You're probably okay with the ball in front of you there. If he's got the ball, that's not bad.
That's what Coach Parker was telling him. Let him catch the ball. If he's going to score, make him score 10 feet over with a jump shot, that's fine. No need to try to reach there.
Second on Watson, second on the Bears. Donovan lets the three go from the corner, no good. Tucker Watson tips to Jack Kennedy. Jack Kennedy steps through. Oh my, I think they're going to call that an offensive foul on Jack Kennedy. Official says that Jack used his arm to clear out a little bit. I'm not sure about that one. Bears by 7, 4:15 on the third quarter clock here.
You know what they say, Ben blew it.
I don't think that was Ben, but Donovan works left side with a lot of company. Batterson. Ball now, Williams up on the volleyball line, and you got to defend out there because he's shown he can hit that shot. Donovan right at Watson, off glass. William Donovan, 11 points. Cuts the lead to 5, 32-27. Bryan leads. Jake Arnold with a bounce pass into Watson. Watson can't get the shot to go, but he's going to go to the Welling Construction free throw line, gets hit by Schindeldecker.
You mentioned it, Coach Arnold, coming into the second half. You said you'd like to see Tucker Watson be a little more active on the offensive end, a little more conscientious effort on the Bears' part to get him the ball. Perfect recipe you drew up because he has been terrific so far this third quarter.
Watson's free throw is good. Welling Construction, from the Welling Construction free throw line. Welling Construction, third generation, family owned general contractor. For quality custom homes, renovation projects, and commercial work, contact us at 419-636-3712. Hunter Watson will check in for Bryce Welling. Hunter Watson checks in for Bryce Welling. We got a lot of double names, but that isn't one of them.
Too many Hunters, too many Watsons. You're getting all confused.
Stryker just about turned it over. Williams threw it off of Cap's shoulder. Batterson, left corner three. He likes that spot. He's knocked down one from there on the other end. And it cuts the lead to 4. 9 points now for Batterson, almost doubles his average. Watson skips it to Arnold. Arnold's got it to McGill. Rhett McGill has checked in for the Bears. McGill finds Watson. Watson kicks opposite to Arnold, hands off to Hunter Watson. Back up top to Jet Kennedy. Bears will reset. Senior gets his offense where he wants them. Arnold catches right corner three, back iron no good. Good screen by Hunter Watson to get him free. Nice set play against the zone. They're going to call that ball out of bounds off of Rhett McGill, active on the backside. Again, McGill doing a great job on the boards. Comes in averaging 4 rebounds a game. 6 and 4 off the bench is a really good positive effort for Rhett McGill coming off the bench.
Yeah, the Bears have gotten every offensive look they wanted this quarter. They've run some nice sets like you mentioned there, done a nice job of getting the ball inside. I think Coach Parker and the staff have to be pleased with the shot selection at this point.
Donovan pulls back, 3 doesn't go, and there's Rhett McGill with a great defensive rebound. Hunter Watson looks to run. We're going to get a push from behind on Williams. Hunter Watson put the brakes on right in front of him. That'll be 2 fouls on Williams, 3 on Stryker. So I think we went about 4 or 5 fouls total in the first half, and now there's been 6. And we're going to get a timeout, full timeout here from Stryker. We'll take an SNS directional boring full timeout. Be back on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
Fallen on hard times? At the Williams County Veteran Service Office, we're here when life gets tough. We provide emergency financial assistance for housing, food, and utilities, plus transportation to VA medical appointments. Whether you need help today or just someone who understands, we're ready to serve. Please reach out to see what we can do for you, because the only veteran we can't assist is the one that doesn't contact us.
Back at Bryan High School, Stryker Coach Wallace called a full timeout right there. Timeouts tonight brought to you by SNS Directional Boring. When it comes to your home or farm, make the smart play. From new main water and sewer lines to field drainage, SNS Directional Boring keeps things flowing underground so you can take your timeout in peace. SNS does it right the first time. Call 419-630-0729. So Coach Meister, we're into the third quarter a little bit. 34-30 Bears lead. A little bit more whistle this quarter. I don't know that it's had a huge impact, but a little bit more whistle.
Yep. I think they called a little more on the inside. Maybe that's a conversation the officials had at half. Maybe they felt like things were a little handsy on the shooters.
During the timeout, Cooper Beltran has checked in for the Bears. Tucker Watson gets a break.
Coach Willis calls that timeout until you have a timeout on the defense. You're going to make an adjustment. They have not trapped much out of this 2-3 at the third quarter. Maybe not at all. I wonder if he'll go back to that, trapping the wing passes in the corners.
Cooper Beltran works a couple of screens against the top defenders of the 2-3 zone. Bears try to get something going off of that. Brett McGill the same. Hunter Watson with the ball in the corner gets poked away by Donovan, and then they're going to call that out of bounds off of Hunter Watson, so a turnover for the Bears. 1:56 left on the third quarter clock. Stryker with possession, another chance to cut into this 4-point lead of the Golden Bears. And Kennedy walks it across the timeline. Kennedy Williams. I don't know why I got Kennedy in my head. I guess it's because Jack was guarding him. Donovan swings to Batterson, back to Donovan. Kennedy with a deep three from on top of the Owen Golden in front of his own bench. 1-point lead for the Bears, 11 points for Williams. Stryker continues when they've got looks to shoot the ball well from three. And the Bears have to find some rhythm offensively here. Gone a little cold the last few possessions.
Now that ball has stayed on the perimeter and not gotten into the post or into the paint on a dribble penetration.
No, I think I'd like to see Tucker Watson back in there. The Bears are comfortable with him getting touches inside.
I'd like to see Jack Kennedy and Jake Arnold maybe aggressively attack this zone with a dribble and get into the paint.
Beltran pulls that one out of a crowd. Three-pointer wide right. Off the rim. Donovan's on the floor, finds it. Stryker's got it. Down one, chance to take a lead here. Donovan works his way inside, gets a Beltran in the air, can't get it to go. But he's going to go to the Welling Construction free throw line to a chance to at least tie, if not take the lead. William Donovan comes in shooting 71% from the free throw line, as we mentioned, averaging 23 points a game, 10 rebounds. Has not made a three this season. That's not part of his game, which is surprising, at coming in averaging 23 points. His second free throw from the Welling Construction free throw line. Hits the rim a couple of times, doesn't go. Scramble for the loose ball. Donovan comes up with it out of the hands of a couple of Bears. Caps is going to take the three from the right side. It's no good. Williams chases down an offensive rebound. Donovan back into the paint, and he's going to get fouled by Cooper Beltran again. Second, third chances at possession for Stryker. Golden Bears not able to chase down defensive rebounds, and they're going to pay the price here as William Donovan goes back to the line. That's 5 team fouls on the Bears. Only 35 seconds left in the quarter. Second foul on Beltran. Reserve senior post player in the ball game for Coach Parker, and that rattles in. Stryker takes their first lead since early in the second quarter, 35-34. Donovan now with 13.
As many threes as Stryker shoots, Bryan has to adjust and understand those rebounds are going to come long, so your guards are going to have to really dig down.
That free throw is short. Rebound to Cooper Beltran. Bears chance to get back in the lead. Get the ball down the floor. 25 seconds left here in the third quarter. Bryce Welling is back in the game for the Bears. Tucker Miller back in the ball game for the Bears. As the Bears swing the ball around the top of that 2-3 zone. Welling finds McGill. Touch pass corner. Miller. Back iron no good. Rebound. Rhett McGill with a big offensive rebound, and then we're going to get a foul called on a Stryker player, Caps or Williams. This looks like it's going to be on Caps. It's just his first, fourth on Stryker, 7.2 left. Bears will inbound from underneath their own bucket. But we had this opportunity at the end of a quarter before we turned it over. We need to get all of this clock we can get a shot off. Bryce Welling gets stuck underneath, finds Miller. Miller finds Welling. Welling loses a handle, not able to get a shot off. So the third quarter will end with Stryker overcoming a 5-point deficit to take a 1-point lead. 35-34. We'll be back with the last 8 minutes of basketball for Bryan High School after this break.
Discover great job skills training at Northwest State. With over 50 different programs available, there is something for everyone. Providing hands-on training and education is the community college advantage.
Trust is built when we know someone has our back, on the field, in the stands, and in life. At Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, we're more than a service provider. We're neighbors and friends. For generations, families have trusted us to care for their loved ones with compassion and dignity.
The Bryan Parks and Recreation Department would like to wish the Bryan Golden Bears good luck in tonight's game. The Bryan Parks and Rec offers a wide variety of classes for you during the entire year and an array of sporting events all year long. Check out what the Bryan Parks and Recreations Department has going on at bryanparksandrec.com or like them on Facebook. The Bryan Parks and Rec hopes to see you in one of the many parks that Bryan has to offer and enjoy the facilities. Questions about the classes or rental of one of their facilities, call 633-6030.
Back at Bryan High School, Stryker's going to have the opening possession of the fourth quarter with a 1-point lead on the Main Stop scoreboard. Main Stop's open when you need them. You're always near a Main Stop. Don't forget Thirsty Thursday every Thursday, which would be today. So Stryker wins that quarter by 6, has a 1-point lead, and the Golden Bears need to find a way to get some defensive rebounding going. And we see the Bears come out for the first time tonight in some man-to-man defense.
A nice adjustment, I think, by Coach Parker, at least give them a little different look for a couple possessions.
Donovan works against Kennedy, finds Schindeldecker. Schindeldecker steps through some traffic. Can't get the shot to go, but he's going to go to the free throw line and shoot 2 free throws. Looks like the foul is called on Rhett McGill. That'll be his first, Bears first. And again, I think Coach Parker probably happy with the ball there rather than with Donovan or Williams, but doesn't want to see a possession end with a foul or free throws. Schindeldecker's free throw is no good from the Welling Construction free throw line.
William Donovan, on his drill penetration, getting the paint, is causing havoc with the defense because he's such a good passer. We talked about his scoring, but he's a really good passer as well.
Draws a lot of eyes. As Tucker Watson chases down that rebound. Jack Kennedy dribbles through some trouble, and the Bears are on offense. Stryker stays with that 2-3 zone. Been really effective. Tucker Watson back in the ball game now, needs to find some open spots. There he is. Had a teammate backside open. I don't think he was able to get that bounce pass through to Tucker Miller, but Watson's going to be fouled and go back to the free throw line.
So against the 2-3 zone defense, we used to call a walkaway spot. That low post guy, if he just takes 2 steps towards the three-point line, we call that just walk away from the block, why we call it the walkaway. That is a very, very difficult spot to defend, and it's open against the zone, and you saw it right there.
And when the ball moves quick, it's that much more effective. Tucker Watson comes into this shooting 63% of the line coming into the ball game. First one was no good, second one's good, and we are tied up at 35 on the Main Stop scoreboard as the Bears stay in man-to-man. Jack Kennedy against Donovan. Donovan just buried a shoulder right into Kennedy's chest. Kennedy comes away with that missed shot. Bryce Welling looks to push. And that ball is going to be fumbled out of bounds. They're going to call it off Stryker. Bears will maintain possession in front of their bench. Welling throws it into the backcourt to Kennedy, and they'll get the offense going. 7 minutes left in the ball game. Tied game right now at Bryan High School.
There's your walk away right there. Great ball movement by the Bears.
Boy, Tucker Watson. Ooh, you draw a lot of company there. They're going to call that a jump ball, and it's going to stay down here with Bryan. Jake Arnold will check back in for Bryce Welling. Arnold will inbound it. McGill. Arnold shot fake, pulls up for the 2-point jumper. That one's true, and the Bears have a 2-point lead. Nice out-of-bounds play there by the Bears. Gets him a good look. Boy, we're going to get a moving screen on Schindeldecker. I'm not sure if he was moving or if it was just the amount of force he put into that screen, but we're going to get the offensive foul called. 3 on Schindeldecker. Kind of a tough break call on that. 2 fouls for the quarter. More importantly, Bear basketball after the turnover by Stryker.
That's one where if there's no call, no one says a word.
No, it looked like a solid one. Yep. Maybe leaned into it a little bit, but it was almost the call by the reaction of McGill as much as anything else. So I guess maybe Rhett can earn his Oscar for the night. Kennedy works off of a screen from McGill. A little bit of a force into Watson. Watson wrestles that thing out of there. Finds Arnold, who finds Miller there. We're going to get a foul called. Watson says, thank you. Every time I get the ball, I've got a lot of friends.
Yeah. The Bears, going back to that last possession, their spacing was not very good. In fact, at one point they had both kids at the high post. Their wings were inside the 3. I mean, against the zone, you have to make sure your spacing is good. You're spreading the floor. That makes your entry passes and your dribble drives a lot easier to make.
Jack Kennedy is going to inbound for the Bears. Movement from the Bears, but not very much of it, and that ball gets poked away. Williams with the run out. I don't think you like any out-of-bounds play where you're sending your 6'5" post as the outlet up top. That's just not fair, not where you want it to be. A little confusion there by the Bears. They turn it over and give up the lead. Tie ball game now, 37-all. Jack Kennedy's going to probe to the elbow, finds Rhett McGill in the walkaway. Tucker Watson, free throw line jumper, no good off to the left. He hustles it down. We're going to get a whistle jump ball called, and this is going to be Stryker ball. You don't get many jump balls in a boys basketball game, I don't feel. There's been quite a few tonight, but I don't think they've been wrong either.
Nope. I think that probably talks a little bit about the effort of both teams. No defensive rebound is going to be easy tonight.
Everything, hands on everything. People are trying to tie up everything. I think that's got as much to do with it as anything else. Stryker now with the chance to take the lead, 37-37, 5.5 left in the game. Caps with the ball up top. Now Donovan working against Tucker Miller. Donovan shakes loose at the top. Ball gets swung around. Again, ball out of Donovan's hands is better than in his hands. You got a lot of guys that second-guess shots. Batterson works into the paint and kicks it away. Batterson's going to take another 3. He's been hot from there tonight. Can't get that one to go in and out. Good rebound by Rhett McGill. Just about throws it away, and then we're going to get a foul on Caps trying to chase down Jake Arnold at half court.
And if you're the Bears, you have to recognize that is now Stryker's 14th foul at the 5:03 mark. Next foul, you're shooting free throws, and as aggressive as Stryker plays, that could play into your advantage if you're Bryan.
Get yourself to the free throw line. I'm sure they're talking about that on the Bryan bench through the coaches right now. Let's be aggressive. Let's force some fouls.
Absolutely. You got a veteran assistant coaching staff down there, and I'm sure those things are being said and telling the kids, be aggressive, attack the basket.
Bears work their offense. Arnold with the left corner 3. That one's good. 3-point lead for the Bears as Donovan pushes quickly to Batterson and to Stewart. Stewart's going to take it back up top, set the Stryker offense. Remigel working against him. Now Donovan's going to work off a screen. Bryce Welling takes that away, stops his dribble on the baseline. Batterson's shot fake, gets himself into the paint. Caps with the 3, and he buries it. I have Caps at 0 points a game. I think that might be his first bucket of the year, and he knocks it down to 3. He was open. He shot it with confidence.
You know what, though? If you're going to give up a 3, that's what you're going to give it up to.
Amen.
You said if they make it, they make it. But I'll give that shot up the next 5 possessions.
Game tied back up with 4 minutes left. 40-all here at Bryan High School.
Yeah, they've got to get the ball to that low
Miller
post
gets
area.
it down low, and he finishes. Nice touch off back iron, rolls in. And Donovan again quickly up the floor. Bryce Welling helping Jack Kennedy, gets the ball out of his hands. Donovan strong, finishes through Kennedy. Tied up again, 42-all. Trading basket for basket now the last 4 possessions. 15 for Donovan, 13 for Williams. Oh, and Arnold sloppy with the pass. Williams tipped it away but couldn't keep it. Jack Kennedy attacks, and then he loses possession. And then we're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a foul called on Stryker as Coach Parker was trying to call a timeout. And there's that 5th foul you were talking about, Coach Meister. And a 3rd foul on Batterson.
Coach Willis is beside himself. That's the 3rd foul they've gotten on a loose ball scramble tonight where they've gotten called for coming in. I'm not saying it's a good call or a bad call. I'm saying he's frustrated. I think he feels like a loose ball scramble is a loose ball scramble.
Yeah, and I think I would agree with him. So Jack Kennedy at the Welling Construction free throw line. His free throw is no good. Senior guard, he's yet to score tonight, averaging 7.5 on the year, shoots 64% from the line. Has worked really hard defensively tonight against the front court from Stryker. He'll get another chance here to give the Bears a 1-point lead. Second free throw is good. Bears with a 1-point lead, 43-42. Donovan up the floor and finds Stewart all by himself, not a Golden Bear around.
That's just a defensive breakdown you can't have at this juncture of the game.
No, 1-point lead now for Stryker. Williams real close to getting a hand on that pass from Arnold to Kennedy. Bryce Welling, a lot of company out there. Miller's three won't go. Donovan gets it on the backside. And we're going to get a foul called on Rhett McGill, just his second, team second. And you're going to get that. You're going to get those kind of fouls. They've been awarding people tying up other players with jump balls all night, so you're going to try. So Stryker's got the ball, 2:55 left, 1-point lead. Bears need to find a way to get a stop here. A lot of ball game left, but that clock can melt fast if you don't get stops.
Yep.
Donovan comes up, works against Arnold. Picks up his dribble at the free throw line, finds Caps. Caps draws a lot of company, as everybody with the ball has tonight. Back out to Donovan, resets the offense. Bears in their man-to-man. Calls for a screen, doesn't use it. Shot off glass, 3 bodies get on the floor. 1 player left standing, gets the offensive rebound. Batterson was in his favorite spot, doesn't take the shot. Finds Williams for the 3, and he doesn't miss it. He's been quiet the whole half, but he's got the big 3 to give a 4-point lead to Stryker. Bears get it up quickly. Need to be aggressive offensively. Miller kicks to Arnold. Arnold's 3 is long off back iron, chased down by Kennedy. Kennedy attacks. His fadeaway rattles out. Unkind roll on the home rim. Williams going to try a dagger 3, and he buries it. Back-to-back threes out of Bradley Williams. Extends the lead to 7. Coach Parker wants a timeout. Bears in a little bit of trouble under 2. We'll take a full timeout here at Bryan High School.
Fallen on hard times? At the Williams County Veteran Service Office, we're here when life gets tough. We provide emergency financial assistance for housing, food, and utilities, plus transportation to VA medical appointments. Whether you need help today or just someone who understands, we're ready to serve. Please reach out to see what we can do for you, because the only veteran we can't assist is the one that doesn't contact us.
I am blind, but I need not see. I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free.
All right, back at Bryan High School, just under 2 minutes left in this ball game, and what was a tie game, 1-point game both ways, has exploded into a 7-point lead for Stryker after back-to-back threes by senior guard Bradley Williams for the Panthers, shooting 40% on the year and a lot better than that tonight. He shot the ball really well. He's got 19. William Donovan's got 15. 34 of the 50, pretty much what was advertised. A little extra help from Andrew Batterson tonight. But that's not what's important now for the Bears. For the Bears, you're under 2, you're down 3 possessions. You got to find a way to score some buckets.
Yeah, and you don't need a 3 here. You just need a good possession. You need to get a basket and get your defense set up. Bears have 3 timeouts left, so they're in good position.
Watson to Kennedy. Batterson tries to tip it away. Clock stop, chance to score points right here. So this is as good as the Bears could have asked for. Then the Bears are going to have to work defensively now, get this plan set, and get back on D. I know Coach Parker was a little concerned about that in the last timeout, about us getting back in transition.
I think right now with 1:40 left, I think you have to be thinking about offensive, defensive subs if you're Bryan. Not sure what their game plan is as far as what their best rotations are, but I think that's something you have that conversation on the bench right now of who's our best defensive 5, because you're going to get a stoppage in play at some point. You can go back to offense, defense.
Kennedy's first free throw is good. Lead is 6 for Stryker. Kennedy's second free throw is good. Lead at 5. Bears need a stop.
I don't think they need to foul for the next 30 seconds. I think they can just play good, solid defense, try to get your trap.
They're going to get a foul there. Arnold tries to poke the ball away from Batterson out top. That's going to be his first, team's third. They still have 1 more to give. Just 90 seconds left in 2 possessions, so the Bears are going to have to be real aggressive. And you got to know who to foul, I believe, in this situation.
I was just going to say that. Absolutely.
Striker knows who they want to have the ball.
That is not who you want to foul right there.
No. You do have one to give, so if you can't get a count, then you got to go try to take a chance at a ball. Donovan's got it. Throws it out of a double team. Stewart open underneath, misses the layup. We're going to get a foul called. He's going to call it on William Donovan. So again, chance to go to the free throw line and get points without the clock running here for the Bears.
Yeah, and for people wondering why I said you don't need to foul till about the minute mark, that's why. Especially with high school basketball, sometimes you will get that scenario right there. You know, where kids will take a shot, not saying that wasn't a good shot, but that's just a situation where you may make some things happen. So now the Bears have a chance now to score with no time going off the clock.
Bryce Welling's first free throw is long. Bryce Welling at the Welling Construction free throw line. He'll get a shot at another to get the lead to 4. Free throw, that one is good for Bryce Welling. That gets Welling to 10 on the night. The Bears trail now by 4. Long skip pass to Caps. Caps cross court to Batterson. He gets it out to Donovan.
Yeah, I think if the Bears now you want to think about foul.
You got to get it. You got to foul the right person. Go foul there.
You got one to give, so it doesn't matter who you foul right now. Just get a foul. There you go.
Jack Kennedy's going to get called for that foul. Still 52 seconds left. Need the ball or a quick foul, and if you can foul anyone other than Williams and Donovan, then you're doing a pretty good job. But at this point, I don't think you can be picky.
Nope.
Caps you know where they want to throw the ball.
Caps has had a good night too, so I think you're looking at Stewart as a potential person to foul.
And right there is where the Bears wanted their foul. They don't get it. Donovan all alone. He's going to get fouled and make the bucket. And that's what you can't have happen if you're the Golden Bears.
No.
You got to make sure that shot doesn't get off. So Donovan gets a bucket to go. That's going to get it to 6, chance to get it to 7. 3 possessions, 47 seconds. Going to make it real tough for the Bears right now. Donovan's first free throw is good, so he completes the 3-point play. 18 for Donovan, 7-point lead, his most important number right now. The Bears will try to run some offense. Watson again draws a lot of company in the paint. Finds Welling, ball gets tipped away, turnover by the Golden Bears. Williams now. Donovan up top, Bears have to foul, and they do. Just too many times tonight. We talked about it was early in the first quarter and now late in the fourth quarter. Bears just not taking care of the basketball well enough against a senior team with front court guys that can do what Stryker's got. Donovan's free throw is short. He'll get one more. 28 seconds on the main stop scoreboard. Chance to get this to 8, 3 possessions regardless whether this goes or doesn't go. The Bears got to push quick, shoot quick. That free throw's good. 19 now for Donovan. Arnold inbounds to Welling. Welling will push it across as Stryker retreats. Swing to Arnold. He'll take the long 3. No good. Jack Kennedy pulls down the rebound. Finds Arnold again. He throws the ball to William Donovan. Donovan's going to lay it in, and that'll pretty much end it. 10-point lead for Stryker. Tucker Miller's going to look to attack. He pushes. Floater won't go. Rebound Donovan, and that'll be the ball game. Stryker's going to come away down 5 at the half. End up with a 10-point win here at Bryan High School. 21 for Donovan, 19 for Williams, 9 for Batterson. So a lot of big points from 3 players right there. But the other guys on the Stryker team did a lot of really good things defensively, rebounded, and were real solid tonight. On the Golden Bears side, 3 guys in double digits. Arnold with 16, Watson with 11, and Welling with 10. But just not enough for the Bears. Too many turnovers, not enough defensive rebounding, too many second chances for Stryker, especially at the points in the game where it really mattered. Bears showed some good life in the middle quarters, but Stryker's 2 senior guards just a little bit too much, whether it came to ball handling, handling the clock, handling situations late. rebounding, whatever it was. It feels like whatever they needed, Williams and Donovan were there to give it for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we need to mention probably Eli Capps tonight, too. He came into the game, you said, averaging
0.
Yeah.
0.
And he came up with 9 or 11 tonight. And in close games like this, sometimes that's the key. You have a kid off the bench or a role player who steps up and has a big game. And, as good as Donovan and Williams, they certainly were terrific tonight. Eli Capps hit some big baskets for him.
All right, we're going to take a break here on the Golden Bears Sports Network. We'll come back, try to cover some stats, talk about this ball game a little bit more, and wrap things up from Bryan High School.
The Bryan Parks and Recreation Department would like to wish the Bryan Golden Bears good luck in tonight's game. The Bryan Parks and Rec offers a wide variety of classes for you during the entire year and an array of sporting events all year long. Check out what the Bryan Parks and Recreations Department has going on at bryanparksandrec.com or like them on Facebook. The Bryan Parks and Rec hopes to see you in one of the many parks that Bryan has to offer and enjoy the facilities. Questions about the classes or rental of one of their facilities, call 633-6030.
Here in Williams County, we believe that no veteran should feel forgotten. Our Veteran Service Office is here to serve, helping with VA claims, pensions, healthcare enrollment, and so much more. We're veterans serving veterans with dignity, honor, and respect. Reach out to us today to see how we can help, because the only veteran we can assist is the one that doesn't contact us.
The Bryan Athletic Boosters would like to wish all the student athletes the best of luck in all their sports this year. The Boosters are proud of your commitment to becoming Bryan built. It takes a lot of time and dedication to play sports and be the best student you can be at the same time. Good luck this year. The Bryan Athletic Boosters would also like to thank all of their corporate and individual patron supporters this year as well. It takes everyone to make a community and to become Bryan built.
All right, back at Bryan High School to wrap up things tonight. The Bears a 10-point loser to the Stryker Panthers. Tonight's ball game was brought to you by the Bryan Athletic Boosters, Bryan Parks and Rec, Northwest State Community College, Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, and the Veteran Services of Williams County. Coach Meister and his statistician assistant have been working hard to come up with the numbers for tonight's game. So, Coach Meister, why don't you take us through how we got to that 10-point loss?
Let's do team totals first. For the Stryker Panthers, for the game, they were 12 for 24 from the 2, 9 for 21 from the 3, 5 for 11 from the free throw line, an outstanding shooting night for the Stryker Panthers. 9 offensive rebounds, 10 defensive rebounds, and I thought a key for them, only 5 turnovers, 2 in the second half. They just took care of the basketball. They never gave possessions away, especially in the fourth quarter. For the Bryan Golden Bears, they also had a terrific shooting night, 12 for 23 from the 2, 5 for 15 from the 3, 7 for 10 from the free throw line, 13 offensive rebounds, 15 defensive rebounds, 12 turnovers, only 4 in the second half. So again, shored that up, and we'll get to individual points here after we talk a little bit about the team stats. Again, like the fact the Bears went from 8 turnovers in the first half to only have 12, but Stryker gone 9 for 21 from the 3, and like you said, Coach Arnold, many times, just seemed to always find the open shooter when they had to.
Yeah, I thought one of the things that was a key for Stryker, and I think this is something that's going to benefit them all the way through the season, is William Donovan being able to play every position. He brings the ball up the floor. He's able to see over the top of the defense. He's listed as 6'1". He plays like he's 6'4" or 6'5", with his confidence, his jumping ability, and his athleticism. He's got a great first step off the dribble. He's always putting your defense in a bind of having to help. You got to know where he is. You got to have 4 eyes on him all the time anyway. But then being able to attack just opens everything else up for everyone else. Batterson was a beneficiary tonight. He buried 3 or 4 threes. Caps hit the 1-3 late when they were making the run to take the lead. That was a huge shot. And then just the entire team, their activity on the boards offensively and defensively, impressed with not just the effort, but their execution. They know who they are, and I thought they played their ball game the way they wanted to all night long.
That's a great point. You just summed it up perfectly right there. They were always under control tonight. Every kid understood their role. I want to go back to William Donovan because it's very rare that you see this in a high school player. He's very aggressive offensively. He attacks, but never once did I think he was out of control. Never once did I thought he took a shot that was a wild shot. He just has that ability to be really aggressive, but to play off of 2 feet and to just continually be in control and to know where his open teammates are.
All right, so we can look at some individual scores here for both teams.
Yes, for the Stryker Panthers, Dean Schindeldecker with 2, Cody Stewart with 2, Eli Cass we talked about with the big 3, Andrew Batterson. I think I got him and Eli mixed up. Andrew Batterson had 9 tonight. And again, he was a young man that hit some big shots for them early on.
Well, that's 4 threes out of those 2 guys, and probably 4 for 6.
Yes.
I don't know if Batterson took any more than 2. I think Caps, that was his only shot. Yeah. Batterson didn't miss more than 2, so that's a huge number out of those 2 guys.
It is. And then, of course, we said coming into the game that Donovan and Williams averaged 40 combined. Williams had 19. Donovan had 21. 40 on the nose.
And that's going to be a good recipe for the Panthers all winter long.
It is. When you have 2 seniors like that, you alluded to the veteran of the backcourt. In situations like this, especially in the fourth quarter, that's where that veteran leadership comes out. For the Bryan Golden Bears, Cooper Beltran with 2, Rhett McGill with 2, Jack Kennedy with 3, Tucker Watson with 12, Tucker Miller with 2, and the Bears were led by freshman Jake Arnold with 15.
How about Bryce Welling?
Bryce Welling with 10.
Bryce Welling, I knew had double digits in there as well.
I did not do a good job of reading things in order. This is why I taught English and not math. Yeah, Bryce Welling was actually outstanding tonight.
He was very good. First half, he
really
did a nice job
well.
finishing, attacking the basket, did a good job tonight. All right, well, we want to thank our crew for tonight, our director tonight. First time, Colton Sheeline did a fantastic job keeping the 2 old guys up in the box on time, in order, and on task. Our replay tonight was run by Christian Craig. Christopher Allspall filled in tonight and ran the robotics. Cameras were run by Josiah Cummins, Owen Sines, and Miles Northrup. And out in the truck, probably feet up, eating bonbons and drinking hot cocoa, Chris Malanga, who is the mastermind of the entire operation.
You know he got an early start on Thirsty Thursday.
I hope he did. He's got a big old Diet Coke out there and all the bonbons he can enjoy.
Amen.
Probably thinking about Notre Dame's week 1 since they don't have any other games left this year. This student broadcast is produced by the Golden Bear Sports Network for the private use of our audience. Any duplication or other use of this broadcast, including descriptions or accounts of the game without the express written consent of Bryan City School District, is prohibited. One final time for all of us at the Golden Bear Sports Network. With Tim Meister, I'm Brian Arnold. Final score tonight, Golden Bears go down to the Stryker Panthers 56-46. Have a great night, everybody.